Welcome back to the morning after. After the home opener in Winnipeg last night was probably a frustrating one for 59 minutes of it, though. That's why they play 60 minutes and sometimes overtime. Winnipeg Jets come back late with Mark Scheifele's 299th and 300th NHL goals to win this one. Now, my thoughts on this one kind of are wide ranging. Let's start with the Blackhawks. Obviously, in the midst of a rebuild, they got the star, Connor Bedard. Watching him in person last night, gotta give love where it's due. He's just a magnet with the puck. And that release is just so dangerous. There was a play, I want to say it was the end of the first period. It's like a 1-on-2. And he cuts to his strong side and cross-body wrist shot that you could tell Connor Hellebuyck was caught off guard by. Guy's going to be a real dangerous threat in the Central as the rest of his game rounds out. But the Winnipeg Jets, interesting start to the year. I kind of said this on the post-game show last night. Through 2 games, they've already had us on the emotional roller coaster of the highs and the lows of last year. And as to be expected, we know this team. We watched the same version last year. We know the good times. We know what the bad times look like. But let's start with the positive. Hellebuyck, 1 goal against through his first 2 games. And the one goal, probably one he wants back. I mean, this is a guy we look at as the best in the world. And Ryan Donato beats him a clean blocker from out wide. He's locked in right now. He's locked in. He's coming for another Vezina trophy early in this season. And as a Jets fan, we know this team only is going to go where Connor Hellebuyck can take it. So, love to see that. Another big shout out, Josh Morrissey's start both games so far. He's at that level of player where I feel like we could talk about him every single day and not talk about him enough. The level he's got into is just so enjoyable to go and watch, from his skating to his puck handling to him. How many times he shuts down the play and brings it the other way. Like, Josh Morrissey's really become that number 1 defenseman that can move a game. And it's just so special to watch. Those 2 guys, they're the cream of the crop here. And I think they've shown it real early here. I've also really liked the third pair in Colin Miller and Hayden Fleury. I think they've paved out a good role for what's expected of them. Though the decor as a whole, the one issue remains, Morrissey's their only true puck mover. Now, hopefully Ville Heinola comes back healthy and helps that aspect of the game and looks to be able to help them there. But I've liked the first and third pairs through 2 games. Now, the second pair, not so much. Obviously, Neil Pionk, shout out to Neil on the hip check on Connor Bedard. And he makes the play that saves this game with the empty net. Kyle Connor turns the puck over softly at the blue line, and the Blackhawks start going the other way. Neil Pionk makes the stop, allows the Jets to get another shot at this. Nick Ehlers throws one at the net looking for a rebound, and Mark Scheifele buries. It all worked out, but everything in between the hip check and that play for Neil Pionk, it's tough to watch. It's tough to watch. And I know the Org sees something in him that no one else does, but at some point, that's got to be the fix on the blue line, is reducing his minutes at the very minimum. He's just not a second-pairing defenseman. And up front, really liked my boy Cardio Capari's game. He looked confident with the puck yesterday. The wheels were there. That fourth line's really paved out a nice niche role for themselves. I wouldn't be touching that. And we know what the Lowry line's doing. It's the 2 Winnipeg Jets skill groups again this year that are struggling to generate offense. No 5-on-5 goals through 2, and it's early, for the Mark Scheifele, Kyle Connor, Gabe Velarde line, and the Nick Ehlers, Vlad Nemestikov, Cole Perfetti line. The second of the 2 being the worst of the 2 so far, which doesn't instill a lot of confidence across the board. I thought Nick Ehlers had a really tough showing. I liked his first period. I thought he had a lot of jump and was carrying the play for the Jets positively, but then it just blew up on him. Turnover after turnover after turnover. One that could have really cost them the game about 12 minutes left in the third. They need that group to be better, but we know that group doesn't work. And we got to stop blaming Vlad Nemestikov. Nick Ehlers and Cole Perfetti are not a fit for each other's game. And I think it's just hurting both of them as much as it hurts the top line that Mark Scheifele and Kyle Connor don't fit with each other's games. They got a long leash. To Scott Arniel's credit, because we are still learning a lot about Scott Arniel early in this year, like the switch in the third period, adding Niederreiter to the Nemestikov and Perfetti group. I like the look of it. Nino's a guy I think you can play with skilled players, and he's going to tilt the ice positively for them. Another aspect Nino does really well that I thought the team struggled with yesterday, when they were generating shots and chances, Soderblom saw everything. They need more traffic to get to those hard areas. It was a little too perimeter for me last night. I thought it was a better but still not great night from the top line. I thought they generated some real quality looks. There was more than a couple times where they were just like a centimeter away from converting on something. I think of the Scheif to Velarde backdoor early. I think of the Velarde to Scheif 2-on-1. But on the other side of it, as we talk about Ehlers turnovers, and he was the worst offender. I think him and Pionk's game stood out for all the wrong reasons yesterday. The amount of times Kyle Connor, and this is probably what frustrates me the most when it comes to Kyle Connor, and I was reminded of it being at the rink yesterday, is just how many times for such a elite offensive talent, he turns the puck over with like no effort from the defender. It's just like soft plays in the corners that turn the puck up the ice the other way, that doesn't allow that line to stay in the offense and generate and really try and go to work. And we got a little ball tease out of the Ehlers Scheifele Velarde group seeing an extended shift together after a Connor turnover, and we saw them take the zone, control the play in the zone, and create a quality look. At some point, I really want to see the playmaker in Cole Perfetti playing with Kyle Connor, the possession driver in Ehlers playing with Mark Scheifele, and let this top nine cook. The one thing, I was talking about this on the post-game show, the one thing is I don't know if there's really any big elite teams anymore. The Devils on paper look like one. The Winnipeg Jets, if they utilize their talent and then they go make the big add-on D to fix the Pionk problem, they could be right there in the West this year. And I think that's why those combos will continue to happen. But hey, 2-0-0. They got 4 out of 4 points. Some things to fix up. Some things to like. We'll see you Sunday. Come check it out. Twitch.tv/Topline Media. From game 1 to 2. Doubled the viewers. Had 50% more commenters. Like, it was a lot of fun last night. I'm really enjoying vibing out with the chat, vibing out with the callers. Bill from Transcona, shout out for the troll. Come have some fun post game and come hang out.